We are live. SBtalksports, Sean Webb, Real Takes Over, Fake Debates. Let's get into it. It is Friday, Sean. What is going on, brother?
Happy Friday to you, SB. Happy Friday to everyone out there. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, a little bit tired, so I'll make sure I go to swiftenergy.gg and use code RTOFD to get 20% off my order to wake me up because we got an action-packed show today. We're coming at you live here on every platform. Make sure you guys give us a follow on every platform. Look up Real Takes or Fake Debates or S Real Takes or look at me, SB Talk Sports, sorry. But then look at my boy Shawa SMW34 on Instagram. It's like that on every platform. Make sure you give us a follow. Man, no, a lot of things going on in the sports world today. Pretty cool. NFL schedule release. The schedule got released. You know, we got stuff going on with Bronny James in the NFL, still doing some low down, dirty tricks and moves. You know, we got to talk about how they're trying to undercut the NBA. Ant-Man looking crazy. A particular guy. Old school rapper wants to be a coach of an NBA team, and a legend got his jersey retired. And of course, we got to talk about Caitlin Clark. So, without further ado, salute everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys share, make sure you guys subscribe and join the movement. But let's go ahead and get into it right off bat, Sean. The NFL has released the full 2024 regular season schedule. Of course, I looked at my Chargers schedule. I looked at a couple of the team schedule. But first, before we even get into the actual games of the schedule, did you actually look at the release videos? Did you even catch a couple of? You know, that's the only time we win a Super Bowl with the Chargers. When we do this is our time right here. The seeing the release videos, oh, we're top tier all the time. Top tier. We gonna do our thing all the time.
So I didn't watch any of them, to be honest with you. Because during the schedule release, there was playoff games on NBA playoffs, and that's to me the priority. Nothing against the schedule release, but I did go back and look at the schedule just to check out some of the team schedule and see how they align things, and some interesting scheduling. I will say that.
Yeah, now it will. That's a couple interesting schedules out here. I was looking, and I think I clicked off of it because they was had like the ranking of the NFL schedule. Let me look it back up again. I had it up here. Ranking, but I know, like I said, I looked at the Chargers. Did you see the things about like the London game thing? So I guess this is going to be a thing now. International games. I think that's just before we get into the schedule. I'm looking at the international thing. Do you think it's going to be to a point where it's going to be enough of a thing where we actually get a team over there, or they just got to?
No, I just don't think logistically. Yeah, I don't think logistically it would work. Just travel time back and forth for a team. I know Jacksonville talked about potentially, the Jaguars, if they couldn't get their new stadium situation, that they would be a candidate to play full time in London. But no, I don't see it. And I think Mexico City may make a little more sense because it is in this hemisphere. But no, I think, obviously,
Tiffany said the Ravens got the hardest schedule. Okay, Tiff, first thing first, Tiff, you know what happened when you win in football? Your schedule get harder. And I'm looking at their schedule right now.
Yeah, they play the first place schedule. It's just the nature.
That's gonna be tough. The nature of the beast. I'm seeing Chiefs, okay, hard game. Bengals, of course, but that's your division. They don't count. Eagles, Browns, Texas. Yeah, it's a solid schedule. It's a solid. It's tough. I don't think it's the hardest. Cause I'm like, is the Ravens schedule the hardest because now they got like the first place schedule, so they play like the non-division teams, and they got a little tougher teams. Then plus they division because that might be the best division in football if you really think about it. So it's like,
yeah,
got two. You got what? You got to play the Bengals twice, the Steelers twice, and who am I missing off top of
the Browns? The Browns.
The Browns twice. Them hard games alone. So that's half of your schedule. So your schedule is going to be hard regardless. Yeah. At all. But that's like you said. That's just the nature of the beast with it, Tiff. Though, because you go when you get that first place schedule. Hey, look, you celebrate during the season. Yeah, I got first place, but now that you got first place, you got to play the big boys. You ain't gonna get the easy schedule. I wonder. Yeah. Go ahead, Sean.
No, go ahead.
Now I wonder what the Bears schedule was looking like from top to bottom, because I know this is like a year that everybody has a lot to say about them, and they better take the next step. I heard a lot of things about camp. I've been paying attention to camp. I feel like it wasn't really time to talk about it, but I've been hearing 50-50 about Caleb Williams a little bit too. But we can wait till like when they get to that point in time to really talk about it. But I'm looking at the Bears schedule. I mean, no, it's like I can see them sneaking in the playoffs. I don't know. They got what, the 49ers, maybe that's hard. Rams, Texas, yeah. No, that ain't as like as crazy as I thought.
Well, I mean, yeah, when you just look at the division, and I mean the fact that you play the Packers and the Lions twice, obviously, in my opinion, I think those two teams are just better top to bottom.
Yes.
Than the Bears. Obviously, the Bears do have a lot of talent they brought in, but you got to put it together. But yeah, so I mean, it's a tough schedule. My expectation, and again, we'll as we get closer to the season and we start doing our predictions for the division predictions and things of that nature, my expectation is the Bears will be competing for a wild card in the NFC.
You got the Lions closing out the division, I would believe, right?
I am back and forth between the Lions and the Packers. I think that's going to be a very tight division at the top. In all honesty. But if I were to give an edge, I would probably get a slight edge to the Lions. But yeah, I think the Packers team is for real. In all honesty.
That Steelers schedule will go crazy.
The Steelers schedule is crazy because they don't play any division games in the games within their division until the last 8 weeks of the season. They play their last 8 games are all division games.
So all they second half of the season games go count.
Yeah.
OD and the TikTok chat said North is stacked, AFC and NFC. He said they both. Yeah. They both got better. AFC North got the hardest. I mean, they just got the hardest division because honestly, no matter how good the Ravens is, any one of them teams can win that division. Even the Steelers. Even the Steelers. I know y'all don't want to get a shake, but look, Mike Tomlin is that if there's a will, there's a way. But also, on to the next one. Netflix inks a 3-year deal to stream NFL Christmas games for the next 3 years. It's a $100 million deal. This is a complete pull under the rug backdoor to the NBA. We talked about this earlier in the year during our show. And I was like, maybe the NFL shouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Why would you try to step on the NBA toes? That's around their time. They say, nope. We don't care. They inked the deal with Netflix, and to even make it even more pettier, to do it with Netflix when everybody got a Netflix anyway. Also, this is Netflix play to try to, they're trying to raise their prices, and the password sharing thing is problems. That's another story for that. But just on the sports side, would I like to have NFL on Christmas? Cool. I would love to watch it, but I don't like that it's backdooring the NBA. That's petty. The NBA, I think, because Thanksgiving was always the NFL's, right? They always let the NFL play on Thanksgiving. Yes. Never tried to step on their toes with that. I don't like this. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't particularly care for it either, but obviously, at the end of the day, we know we're gonna have 5 NBA Christmas Day games. What it's gonna make the NBA do in terms of scheduling is make sure that you got 10 of your best teams playing against each other on Christmas Day. And because you're going to be competing now with the NFL and the Christmas Day game, I'll be honest with you, I will probably be flipping. Well, I'm not going to say what I'm going to do because I don't know what I'm going to do. But
depends on who playing.
Yeah, well, God willing, I'm still here, but
say that though. You scared me, brother.
Well, no, nothing like that. It's just, just to.
You just said, I said, don't tell you. Under the desk, you got the oxygen tank or something, man. Don't scare me like that.
No, you just never know. You gotta live every day, for the day. But no, in all seriousness, I think it's just gonna put emphasis on the NBA to make sure, and the schedule makers to make sure that you are putting great matchups on Christmas Day. Because if you don't, from a ratings perspective, you're going to lose badly to the NFL. So I would absolutely expect Ant-Man to be playing on Christmas Day. Absolutely expect Luka to be playing on Christmas Day. I expect potential Joker. I expect if it may be LeBron's last Christmas Day game, because maybe his last year in the league. Expect LeBron to be on Christmas Day. So you just make sure.
I ain't gonna hold you. If Bronny do him on the same team, if Bronny ain't played yet, I guarantee you Christmas he starting that game. they go. Hey Bronny, hey look, NFL, y'all want to play that rate games? Don't worry about it. LeBron James and Bronny James first start together. Christmas, bang! I do it. I'm hitting the red button on them real quick.
Yeah.
And Jacob in the TikTok chat, he said Wolves at 7. Hey, stay around. We're gonna talk about the Wolves too later in the show. But no, I'm hitting the red button for sure, Sean. Y'all want to take Christmas from us? Don't worry about it. Cool. Ain't no NFL game gonna beat that rating. LeBron and his son's first game starting ever in history. They ain't gonna beat that. That's a gold man ticket. That is a gold man ticket. But speaking of LeBron James and Bronny James, LeBron has just announced, it was like early today his agency announced, he ain't really necessarily said it out of his mouth himself. Pretty much it's been reported that LeBron James won't leave the Lakers just because Bronny is drafted by another team. I took this as Sean, meaning if any of you bottom of the low tier teams think you just going to get LeBron to just come try to get LeBron to play for like the Detroit Pistons about drafting Bronny, I ain't coming. So I just think that's all that is. I think LeBron wanted to nip it in the bud because, like you said, we were talking before the show, he was been saying like a lot of different things out and about. But the main thing that people stuck to, no matter what the other thing, because some of the stuff is just him being a parent. Of course, you're going to say how you feel about your kid, whatever it's your kid. You're going to think your kid's super bad. Everybody called LeVar Ball crazy when he was talking about how he was talking about Lonzo and all that. Like, what you expect? But the main thing that stuck out was, I want to play with Bronny no matter what, and the money don't matter. So other people and other teams looking at it like that, like, well, I'll take LeBron for the year if I'm Detroit. The Spurs, I'll go and get LeBron. But LeBron had to realize he didn't understand how powerful him saying that was, because now it's like, no, I don't want to go. I'm not playing for Orlando if you draft Bronny. I don't care. I'm not going to Detroit. I think it's like certain teams where I think he would go. If I had to put a perspective on it, like if Bronny got drafted to these teams, this is the only place LeBron is going to. Obviously, the Lakers, which way he wanted to go. Lakers, Warriors, Knicks, Bulls, and that's 50-50 on that one. But Lakers, Knicks, Warriors, Bulls, and maybe the Clippers because they in LA. Besides that, I don't really see no. I'm sorry, in Cleveland. I'm on the why the Cleveland should have been first. I should say in Cleveland. And I'll probably shake the Clippers and the Bulls out for Cleveland. But if I had to pick, that's what I think. What do you think for this?
I think LeBron will either be a Laker next season or in Cleveland. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't think any of the other teams have a real legitimate.
You sure about the Knicks? Maybe
who?
The Knicks?
No,
because he wanted to go there, but the family said we ain't living here. We want to live in LA.
I mean, no.
No. Go to state. He been begging to play with Curry.
No, God, okay. No.
That'd be crazy work. They they trying to push that agenda like all these old players. Like, yeah, it's a new era. All y'all washed up. Y'all should just link up. Now KG said it. Y'all should just link up. Go ahead and get Curry. Go ahead and get LeBron, KD, Chris Paul. All y'all just link up and be a bunch of old superstars on the team. Yeah. That'd be crazy work, but I don't think it still will work out though.
Yeah,
no. Let's say Cleveland, yeah, why not? It's his hometown.
Well, I mean, it's again, with LeBron, obviously you learn not to try to read into his actions too much. Mm-hmm. But I'll just say this: in 2014, when he was still with Miami, he did. Miami was on a road trip. He left to go be in Cleveland for Zydrunas Ilgauskas' jersey retirement.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that was the first, thought of maybe he could go back to Cleveland for him, don't know, won't say, but I do know that there were a lot of people who thought that was a big part of, planting the seed of this return to Cleveland could be closer than possible. Now, again, if the Heat win the title, I don't think he goes back to Cleveland that year because I think he tried to go for the 4-peat. But that said, obviously the Heat didn't, and we know what happened. So him showing up at the playoff game in Cleveland the other day, whether or not that was there wasn't an accident. I'll just say that.
Oh yeah, no, LeBron don't do nothing without a player behind it. Salute, go James King of Leaf. I see you in the chat. Okay, Tiffany said Ravens versus Texas Christmas primetime game. Is that a bigger headline than LeBron James and Bronny on the court together at Bronny's first start?
Yeah, because I think this game could have serious seeding possibilities. Because I think the Ravens and the Texans both will be fighting for that 1 seed with Kansas City. So this game could have major seeding possibilities. So absolutely.
But also, okay, now we talk about LeBron. I was got to go to Bronny. Bronny's in the draft combine. He's listed at 6'1", a little bit smaller. At USC, they had him at 6'3". Listed at 6'1", got a 40 years vert. Going through the combine drills. Did a good job on the shooting. The agility stuff did solid. Played a couple scrimmage games. And it's been iffy on if Bronny was worth getting drafted. Obviously, we've seen a couple shows and reports saying that from other scouts saying that he's not ready. Long story short, a lot of them say he wasn't ready. In your opinion, from what you have seen and what you have heard, will Bronny James get drafted?
I think it's too early to tell, SB, for a couple of reasons. One, he's got to go do some individual team visits.
Mm-hmm.
Meet
just interviewed with the Lakers too, by the way. He just interviewed with the Lakers.
Yeah, but actually going to just do these team visits. Mm-hmm. A lot of times with the team visit, the teams will put you through certain workouts. They want to see you on their, practice floor and maybe with some other prospects as well. How does he measure up with some other guys they're looking at? So I think it's way too early to tell. And I want people to understand. So there's a difference between a draft evaluator and a scout.
Mm-hmm.
So a draft evaluator is like Mel Kiper.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mel Kiper, he has his process, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he's right. Sometimes he's not. Mm-hmm. Jonathan Gavoni is kind of the same thing. He's an evaluator. He does a pretty good job of evaluating guys. I know he bumped LeBron or Bronny up from undrafted to potentially being a late second round pick. But it all comes down to which teams are picking late in the second round, because teams do trade and move around in the second round as well. And also, again, these teams meet with him individually. Did he work out for them? What did their scouts say? Have they done their due diligence like they do with every player? At this point, it won't be a matter of his name. It's a matter of can he play? And also, as a second rounder, they could say, hey, listen, we're going to draft you, but we're going to put you in the G League. Is he and Clutch going to be okay with that if they decide that? So there's a lot of things that factor, in right now. So I think it's way too early to tell. And again, unfortunately, I think he's if he is drafted to Gabon's point, it's probably very late in the second round if he's drafted.
I think the problem with Bronny for me, it was like when he get drafted, is I think the chess move of throwing him out there now was smart, only because this might be one of the weakest unknown drafters that we had. I think it's gonna be some unexpected gems in this draft because ain't nobody really had on this draft. So I get the push, but the bad side of it is that I think he did need that 1 or 2 more years to actually okay, let me develop my game, work on my body some more. Because obviously, if the style of play that he said he's trying to go for, the Drew Holidays, the Derek Wright, Donovan Mitchell, then you gotta improve your physicality. It hurts that he's 6'1". He gotta get a knockdown shot. He gotta be a knockdown shot, and he has to improve with his playmaking because, like you said, the problem that everybody have with him is that he's really a tweener. He's a 3-and-D guy in a point guard's body. Can he consistently be a knockdown shooter, and then can he not be a liability on defense because of his size? Because no matter how good a defender that you think you are and capable to be, if he get Kevin Durant on him, Kevin Durant just gonna shoot over him, no matter how good defensively he is. He's too small. We didn't see that. Even when Patrick Beverly was at the peak of his powers defensively, still getting cooked. He's too small. But will Bronny get drafted though? In my honest opinion, I think so. I think at the end of the day, the Lakers gonna probably be the one to do it. Now let's see if any of these other teams undercut them, because I think when you looking at the draft, I can see, like I said, this is one of the weaker drafts that we have, so I can see Bronny White taking Bronny with a late second round pick. How is that gonna hurt you? Now, if you were trying to do this in a lottery, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that, but mid to late second round pick, why not? I'll take the chance on the kid. And I also think Clutch need to let that go of him not being a two-way contract guy. I think him being a two-way contract guy would benefit him more, because in a two-way contract, you can still come up too.
Yeah, and I want to say this too, and I think what probably people are not thinking about enough is the impact of the new CBA, which really takes hold this summer. The value of second round picks, I think, is going to be greater than it's ever been because of how, particularly if you are a first or second apron team and you're paying into the luxury tax, you got to have some talent on your roster that's inexpensive, to be frank. So that's where a lot of your second round picks, your undrafted free agents will come in. So I think there are going to be teams that say, hey, listen, if there's a guy, and again, a lot of it is, remember, just like in the NFL draft, teams have boards. They're also, a lot of times their boards are set up for who they've worked out, but also how they're thinking other teams are looking at certain guys. If a team, and I'll just say San Antonio, for example. If San Antonio has a late second round pick and they got 2 guys on their board, and one of those guys is Bronny, and say it's player A, and they think player A is going to get drafted if they choose not to take him, but Bronny could fall into that undrafted free agent market, they're going to take player A because they want to guarantee they get player A. And they may be willing to compete for Bronny, or say, hey, we'll invite Bronny to our summer camp or summer league, and things. So it's just it really comes down to how each of the 30 teams who are drafting had their board set up, and that's really what it comes down to. But again, I think there are going to be some teams that, again, your high apron, your taxpayer teams who are trying to manage their budget, so to speak. How are they going to be viewing those second round picks as well?
Realistically speaking, Sean, one more question. If you was running the teams, just give me any team with you. If you was running the XYZ team, what team will have Bronny or should have Bronny on their board in the second round? Like, if you had to put if you was running that team,
Denver.
Okay.
Bronny
on Denver would be crazy work.
Well, and again, I'm saying Denver, looking at their current roster, they can wait for him to develop, right? And I think about a guy they had on their roster a few years ago, Monte Morris.
Monte Morris was nice,
right? Like somebody who, again, they play really spot minutes, but when he got some minutes, he showed, okay, yeah, he's got a chance, but it took a little bit of time for Monte to play. So, and again, this is just based on the current construction of rosters. So Denver would be a team I would look at. Denver
good with the second round picks.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, and I mean, and that's the other thing too. And then are you going to a market where, it's not a lot of lights on you, not a lot of, because obviously you're Bronny, you're going to have some lights on you, but where it's not a lot of, hey, why is he not playing? Well, in Denver, we know why he's probably not playing because of, where they are in terms of their roster construction with their team. But could he be a guy, hypothetically, who could, after Reggie Jackson retires or whatever Reggie Jackson's going to do in the next couple of years, could Bronny be developed enough to slide into that, backup guard role behind Jamal Murray?
It's possible.
It's possible. So I think a lot of it's just going to depend on, again, current roster construction, but also how does your roster project out over the next 2 to 3 years, and do you have enough patience and time and roster space to allow Bronny to develop? And again, it may be him bouncing back and forth between the G League, the first year, but it's going to come down to that. So I think there's a lot of factors in SB, to be honest with you.
Which would happen with Scotty's son. Remember, Scotty's son was in the G League, and then when everything happened with Memphis, he got his chance to ball. He's been doing his thing over there in Memphis. So do you got any other team maybe in mind you think, or you think it's just maybe like Denver? Well,
yeah, Denver was the first team that came to mind. I mean, certainly.
What about your Heat?
Again, if he's willing to, because again, I'm looking at the current roster construction. I don't see him making the 15. But if he's willing to go to Sioux Falls, excuse me, and put in some work in the G, because again, we know that he's history with development. Same thing with San Antonio. Like it's got to be a place where, again, they have a history of developing, but also a history of being patient. And that's that. I think that's really what it comes down to, is where can they go? Where can he could go where they're going to be patient and they don't need him to play today.
I like that. If I were to pick one, if I was running office, obviously I'm gonna take the Lakers out the way. I like the Nuggets. We just want to develop in them. I'll probably say Spurs. If I was the Spurs, I'd draft them. If I was the Warriors, I like the Heat only because of the Pat Riley way and the discipline. I feel like he will get the size and shape and strength and discipline the right way under the Miami way. It's more of the Miami way, and I think Miami would develop him right. And the style of play that he would want to play, I would like him to play with New York with Tibbs too, because Tibbs, if you play defense and you ain't allowed, you'll play with Tibbs. I feel like that if he go to New York, he'll find a way on the court, just only because Tibbs is there, not because it's New York. I'm thinking of Tibbs. Yeah. Besides that, I can't really think of no other place really, not counting the Lakers. But Speaking of this, let's go ahead and get into it. Jacob, you asked for Wolves in 7. Let's go ahead and talk about this because also Anthony Edwards said Wolves in 7. He appreciate that, Giants. He said good take on the Bronny fellas. Appreciate that. Anthony Edwards told the Nuggets staff the team we will be back here in Game 7, and he was right. So now we got Game 7, Sean. Before we get into like our predictions of what we think how this Game 7 is gonna go? What have been your overall thoughts of the series in general? This has been a lot of people said this is a finals type level matchup. Denver didn't give us that type of Game 6, but they feel like they just wet the bed and just said you can have it. But overall, during the series, I have been very excited and enjoyed the series. And was becoming a star. Jokic still shows why he's the man. And 2 teams show how great they are all around. But what have been your overall view and skill of the series?
Yeah, I mean, this has been a very interesting series. Obviously, no home team won until Game 5. So that certainly has been interesting. I thought this was going to be the series of the second round. And arguably, in my opinion, I think this is the best series of the playoffs.
Yes.
I know some people want to say Knicks and Sixers. That was a good series, but this has been – if this was the Western Conference Finals, people would be raving more about this series, I think. And this potentially could have been the Western Conference Finals, but obviously OKC got the 1 seed, so it's not. That said, it's been a very good series. I think when we did our picks, I said Denver in 7 from the get-go because I thought it would be a very tough series. Matchup-wise, they said last year Minnesota was their toughest series, was their toughest opponent, and Minnesota came back better, and you're seeing that. But you're also seeing the resilience of the defending champs.
It's hard to beat the champs now.
Yeah, you gotta take the champs out. And I would also say from Michael Malone's perspective, while he can't say it publicly, I gotta believe internally from a coaching perspective, he was a little glad they lost the way they lost last night.
Why you say that though?
Because you get to kick your team's butt going into Game 7, and you gotta believe they're gonna be a little mad getting embarrassed like that in Game 6. Like if they lost a close one, the emotions of that would be a little different as opposed to getting your ass kicked like that. In a
you
game.
See Jokic in the fourth, he can sit down for like the whole quarter looking at man. I was like,
So it's this in a lot of ways, and again it's kind of like what happened with the Knicks. The Knicks got smacked on Mother's Day badly. They went back to New York. They were able to take care of business in Game 5. To me, this is what Denver will I think likely do is, and again, Minnesota's not going to give it to them. Denver's got to go out and take it. But the anger of how badly they played in Game 6, I think, will benefit them in a Game 7 at home.
Oh, for me, like you said, I didn't even think about it like that because them beating them that bad, like you said, now you could go home and Mike Malone can go ahead and get them together. Hold on. Let me go back to the cast for Thursday. Oh yeah, okay. I looked at that G chat. Sorry. Yeah, but no, I think like I didn't take that perspective from it, like because now I was like, you could come home as a coach. Hey, you could get it to your team. Now you can put more emotion into them, get them more prepared for this Game 7. Because as great as Minnesota is, and I've been 50-50. I told you when we did our position, I've been 50-50 on this series. Anyway, I think I picked Denver in 7 also too, or I'm on Minnesota. I have to go back and look at the clip. Because now it's like you got a pissed off defending champions. Denver is hard to beat anyway, but now you got a pissed off. Their coaches done got them to them. And you coming back home into Denver with the altitude this is going to be Minnesota's toughest challenge of this young, growing, developed team. Obviously, they still got a lot of time. I know Cat and Gobert is like a little bit older, but they still got a lot of time. But this is something that's going to make or break them in a good way. Like if they come in and win, lose, but it's a close game and it came down to the wire, they'd be good. But if they come in here wet the bed, I think that's going to be harsh for this young developing team. but I can't. But I also think their defense, they're gonna be hard. And I hope the refs let them play. If the refs let them play, I think Minnesota is gonna be more physical and could possibly get the edge. But it would be hard for me to go against the defense champ shot. I can't at home, game 7. I'll happily be wrong and say if Minnesota come through and win. Hey, you came and they home, defending champs game 7 and whooped them, you deserve it. But it's hard beating the defending champs at home.
Yeah, I mean it is, and certainly I would definitely expect that they will. Again, Minnesota's going to come out; they're going to fight. They're not going to give it away. But this is, for me, Minnesota is going through their late '80s, early '90s Bulls process. That Denver is their Pistons, and they're going to have to figure out, if they don't win this series, how do we slay that dragon? Because that dragon is the key for us getting to where we think we can be, which is a legit championship contender. So, and again, it's the Nuggets are not. I always tell you, I don't underestimate the heart of a champion. When you've been through it, you understand what it takes. Now you got to go out and execute. And again, to me, it comes down to, Jamal Murray. Which Jamal Murray shows up. Because last night, I mean, it was a disaster, for him. But I think it just really, honestly, it rolled into the entire team.
And he messed up his elbow. Rap God, I'm glad you said that because I knew I did forget something. But I'm gonna bring it to you too. Shout out to opinion on it. But he messed the elbow up. I don't know if it was a shooting elbow or not, but with Rudy Gobert when they had a collision. So that could play a part in that. But I 100% agree that Jamal Murray is also the key, because if Jamal Murray don't beat Jamal Murray, they can lose. You see every game where he wasn't even close to the same. It was a totally different team. But Rap Guy had a comment, and I don't know how I forgot to put this in here because it's part of the title. Mitchell was frustrated with the Cavs. Rap Guy said Mitchell will resign with the Cavs. What is your quick thoughts on the Donovan Mitchell situation and his Cavs situation? But Donovan Mitchell has came out and said that his cap when they said he's frustrated with the immaturity of the team. Darius Garland has not said another report about saying that if Donovan Mitchell come back, he wants to leave. And Evan Mobley said he never really wanted to be in Cleveland. So, a lot of things when you lose, a lot of all these rumors come out. Sometimes it be from other teams because they want to get the players off the team. Who wouldn't want Evan Mobley on this? Evan Mobley on the Thunder would be excellent. That's probably like something that they will possibly need to add to them too. That would be great. And I think he'll fit them perfectly. And Darius Garland would fit on a lot of teams perfectly too. But what do you think about do you think is any fuel to the fire of this Mitchell don't want to be in Cleveland thing? He's frustrated. And what is going on with Cleveland? Because they a nice young team. They got time. I think they just need more time to play together too. But what do you think it is?
So I think two things. One, obviously, before Mitchell got traded from Utah, his desire, he thought he was going to get traded to the Knicks. He's from the New York area. I think he really wanted to be in New York. And there's a part of me that still think that he does, not with the Knicks though.
Yeah, him and Brown ain't gonna work in the backcourt. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I think it would be Brooklyn would be his probably target. And I think Brooklyn will be very, very hot after Donovan Mitchell if Donovan Mitchell makes it clear to the Cavs that he plans to test the market, decline his player option and test the market. Which I'm inclined to believe he will, because this will be his first time actually being a free agent.
Yeah,
yeah. Now that said, this is going to be very similar to, crazy as may sound, to Anthony Davis in 2019, because Anthony Davis could essentially tell any team, if you trade for me, I'm going to test the market. I don't think Donovan Mitchell will handle it the same way by having his agent come out and say, I'm only signing with the Lakers or whatever. But I do think from a back channel perspective, there's some things that are probably in the works. If Mitchell wants to stay with Cleveland, I think it's going to be incumbent upon Cleveland to trade Darius Garland. I just don't think the fit works.
They don't fit well.
And when they're on the floor with each other, Garland kind of usually is the one that's kind of not standing around, but kind of the odd man out, because of how Mitchell plays. They're both very talented guys, but they're both guys who really need the ball.
Yes.
And really need to play with someone who plays, more off the ball. As great as Steph is, Steph and Clay work because Clay didn't need the ball, doesn't need the ball. And so, I think Mitchell and Garland are kind of in that same space. And also, you go ahead.
Sean, Andrew in the TikTok asks, would you keep Mitchell over Garland, though?
Well, under current circumstances, I would keep Garland because Garland is signed longer. Garland isn't a free agent until 2028, where Mitchell can be a free agent, obviously, next summer. So because of the current circumstances, I want to keep Garland. Now, that said, if Mitchell does say, hey, I'm going to re-up, I'm going to stay, I want to sign an extension, then, yeah, Mitchell would be the guy. Mitchell's a better player right now. So I think it comes down to, what does Mitchell and his team say their plans are, and how the Cavs respond accordingly.
For me, seem like he really fully want to be anyway. Yes, Mitchell, before I say this, Mitchell is a better player. I'm trading Mitchell and trying to get a haul and retool this young team some more because I think you can still build something nice with Garland and Mobley. And you can probably find somebody else at some point, maybe a bigger guy that can fill that point with Donovan Mitchell at some point. So I'm keeping Garland. I'm letting Mitchell walk. Mitchell's a better player though. I'm not. Don't take me like I'm saying Garland is better by me saying that. But I got the guy under the contract already. We could go get a haul for Mitchell, rebuild the team, add more, get pieces for the future, deal with one another, a greater younger star, or we could find another star later in the future. I'm cool with that.
That's and I think that the other thing with the Cavs is I heard some talk about JB Bickerstaff job up in the air. His job should not be up in the air.
I don't think it should either.
Every single year they have gotten further. They have shown that they are a team that can compete, but obviously they got to tweak their roster. And again, it comes down to what does Donovan Mitchell decide? And again, it's just me knowing what he was trying to do when he left Utah. He wanted to go to New York. I still think there's a part of him that wants to go to New York and be close to home. And then what do you do with Jared Allen? Can you move Jared Allen? Because I'm not sure Jared Allen and Evan Mobley necessarily fit long term unless Mobley's going to become more of a stretch.
You got to get that Bosch, man. You need to go to Bosch camp. You need to call Bosch right now, bro.
Yeah, so
Bosch, man.
Yeah, and so I think it's going to come down to that. And again, I think they got, particularly with Mitchell, to your point, SB, they can get a haul from Mitchell and add some young pieces. Again, I'm looking at Brooklyn because I think Brooklyn has some pieces that they want and some picks that they got in the James Harden deal from Philly, as well. So, I think Brooklyn would be the team I'd watch out for. Obviously, the usual suspects, the Lakers and the other teams but I think Brooklyn is a team I would watch out for with Mitchell this summer.
Speaking of New York, the game should have already started, but it was Knicks versus Pacers, game 6.
9-7 Pacers are up.
So we'll be done with the next 20 minutes, or at least I'll catch the second half. But Knicks versus Pacers, obviously we see what's going on in the game right now. The Mitchell, I was talking about earlier, Mitchell Robinson being out. Do the Knicks close the door tonight?
No, Pacers force a game 7.
Ooh, Pacers force a game 7. I think the Knicks close the door and go to the Eastern Conference Finals and play the Celtics. I think. But also, speaking of Brooklyn, Brooklyn net legend, half man, sometimes half amazing, is getting his jersey retired. The Brooklyn Nets are retiring number 15 jersey next season of Vince Sanity Carter. What is your reaction to that?
Congratulations to him.
One of the coldest dunks I'd have seen in the Nets jersey.
Yeah, I recall such things.
I'm sorry to bring it up. Sorry to bring it up.
It's fine. I recall. Yeah, all right, it's fine. No, Vince is the homeboy. He's from Central Florida, so And again, I did, get to play against them when we were younger. So, I have all the respect in the world for Vince. So congratulations to him. I really thought Toronto would be obviously first, but hopefully they get their stuff together and retire Vince's and Chris Bosh's numbers, please. Stop playing around. These guys are Hall of Famers, and they're a big part of your franchise history. Retire their numbers and quit being petty.
No funny. Is Kawhi get his jersey retired for Toronto?
For one season? For one season?
The one season they got a championship. The one and only championship, because Toronto ain't winning the other one no time soon.
I don't know. I don't think they do that. For 1 year?
Hey, let Chad. Somebody, hey, what do y'all think, Chad? Should Kawhi let get his jersey retired for the Raptors? 1 year? The only championship. He really played a full season. He played like 50 games?
He played like 60 games and in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I'm saying no. Maybe you don't let anybody else wear it, but I'm not giving you that for 1 year.
Retire Kyle Lowry jersey to Toronto.
I think Kyle Lowry should be in that conversation, but take care of Vince and Chris Bosh first.
My favorite Vince Carter. Oh yeah, that's the one we was talking about.
Yeah. Thank you, Rap God. Appreciate you.
He'll bring up past trauma for Sean. Okay, man. That's it. So Sean, funny story next, right? Yesterday, I think it was last show that we had last Friday because we missed Monday. We was talking about how the NBA coaching job is becoming a joke and all the coaches getting fired.
Yes.
But this next coaching candidate who wants to coach his hometown team, he might make you say a little bit. So he gonna be calling plays out there. But Percy Miller, if you don't know who Percy Miller is, because obviously he's not gonna be going in his rap name, MasterP, is confident that the New Orleans Pelicans will become a championship team with him on the coaching staff. The floor is yours. What do you think? Nah. Sub out. That's how you go sub it. I mean, he has been successful in a lot of things, Sean. I don't know. Master P.
I mean, just no. Just no. Yeah. No.
My only thing is this, Sean. Okay, if Master P had the master plan, no pun intended again, Master P had the master plan when it came to coaching with the X's and O's, and he could draw the perfect game plan on offense, defense, whatever part of coach staff he want to be on. Maybe want to be on the swag side or business side, whatever. But say if he was just the guru of anything that he tried to do. Is that go get Zion to be healthy? No. Is that gonna help B.I. be consistent? No. Is that gonna make CJ McCollum younger? No. So it's like it don't even matter. The Pelicans, it's nothing he can go in that roster. Go in that room and say and do, unless he got magical healing powers that can heal Zion legs every time something go wrong. Is they're not going to get that done because they were supposed to make the playoffs this year. Zion had 40 that last game and got injured the last minute.
Yes. They made the playoffs. They were playing. Yeah.
They got, but Zion was there, and Zion got hurt. So if Master P was on the sideline right now, what different was he gonna do? You just say, Coach, what does that mean?
Is he gonna make I got the hookup part 3? Like I don't know.
I got the game plan.
I just don't know exactly. Yeah. Holler if you hear me. It's a funny story, obviously,
Hilarious.
And again, just no slight to P. Obviously, he's been very successful in multiple, lines of business and things like that. But just no.
Yeah.
No, just no.
Just no. Just no. Sean said just no. But let's go to DWBA on this one. Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever had the highest viewership for a WNBA game on the network. So clap it up for that. It's getting to the point. They're getting the star viewership that they wanted. They're moving to bigger stadiums. Actually, the Indiana Fever take charter flights now because Caitlin Clark, I think they changed it for everybody, but I know for sure it's there for the Fever. Because Caitlin Clark can't walk through airport. You know, she's biggest college star at that point in time. And then she did play. The 2 games that she did play. Caitlin Clark struggled in her home debut. And she kind of struggled a little bit in her first game. She had 20 first game, 10 turnovers. I think this last game, I think she had like 6 turnovers and only like 4 points. It shot kind of bad.
Like I think it was 9 points.
9
like,
points, yeah. So, what is your reaction to the whole Caitlin Clark experiment so far? Shout out Angel Reese been doing a thing too. So, what from the point of the viewership and then also the struggle?
So to all you people out there who called Cheryl Swoops and Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi and these legends of women's basketball haters, y'all owe them an apology, because this is exactly what they said was going to be the case, that everybody in the WNBA can play. When you have a league who cuts top 5 picks from rosters, it's because they got a team, they got women on that team that can play. So these are the best women's basketball players in the world. And I think because the league is so concentrated, because right now there are only 12 teams, obviously we're getting ready to go to 14 here soon, and eventually 16 is their plan. You got the best of the best in the world. And so, she's going to see the best of the best in the world. And, I watched some of the first couple of games, and the one thing I'll tell you is physically, she's not special. She's not. And to be very frank, South Carolina, I thought, did a good job against her, particularly after the first quarter in the national championship game. And you get physical. If you can get her to go one way, that helps. A lot of the passes that she was able to make at Iowa was because the spaces were so wide. It's a tighter passing window that she's dealing with now. And the big thing is she's a rookie. This is a part of being a rookie. The big thing she's got to learn is to control her emotions. She's not going to get calls. She's a rookie. You got to earn. You earn this, and you earn the respect of the officials. You can't cry and whine to the sideline because you're not getting calls. So shut up. Remember, you're a rookie. Put in the work, and get your game up. And that's really what it's going to be about for her. And again, this is the WNBA. This is the best women's league in the world. And so this is what she's seeing. And again, it's just part of the process. This is a process. And as long as she's willing to put in the work and continue to evolve and grow her game, I think she'll be okay. But right now, I don't like to name drop like this. Right now, she's Adam Morrison. Adam Morrison was a dog at Gonzaga. Could do whatever he wanted. He got to the NBA. It was a different world. So, this is what she's dealing with. Shout out to Hillman College. It's a different world. So, that's what she's dealing with right now. And but she just got to put in the work and see and find her, where she can be, successful. But it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time.
I think for me, from what I've seen, I missed. I caught a little bit of the half of the first game. The second game, I didn't really want to get the highlights of it. But from what I'm seeing and hearing, I think for future wise, for her to survive and get to that point, one, she got to get a strength up in general. You got to get a strength up in general, and then for everybody who's tripping out, Because now, like you said, everybody do have to eat that humble pie. Was calling out Cheryl Swoops and Diana Taurasi. Yeah, y'all might not like the tone of what they said or how they were saying it. They could have probably said it better, but they wasn't lying. Even Wemby came in this year. Y'all thought Wemby looked good, but the Spurs finished with the worst record. There's only so much you can do as a rookie and be impactful. But now with Caitlin Clark comes to a situation where everybody is gunning for her. So now she got to get strong. And then if she can't get her strength up to par, she need to go look up one NBA legend, Steve Nash, and getting that crafty back. Find your ways to crack and crevice between those situations. You're not as physical as these other girls. And that's the point that she shouldn't make that her game. Yeah, you used to try to get more physical Iowa because you got to a point where you was getting every call. You ain't gonna get them calls. You got to find a better way, or you ain't gonna make it. You're gonna be hurt. But also like I think she'll be fine though. I think that she's just gonna have her own little rookie trial. She got to trial the errors and learn. I ain't gonna go far and say she out of Morrison yet. I give me
no. Yeah, I just use that example.
No,
but,
yeah,
who came in with a lot of hype because of what he did at Gonzaga. And then got to the NBA and figured out it was a
different ball game. It was
the same world.
But I think she should be good. And then also, but I want to give a shout out to, he was like, you need to talk about CC finally seeing real ballers. But this is the best of the best league. And then I was talking about Cameron Brink too. Cameron Brink has also been doing solid. I see her make a nice couple passing plays, knocking down threes. Shout out Angel Reese. Angel Reese is bodying up with the physical. You can tell that Angel Reese is a lot stronger than what people like. How she looks, she be all glammed up and doing the Matt Geller stuff now. Angel Reese low key strong but she's strong already. Yeah. But no, I think Caitlin Clark and these rookie class is gonna be fine. I actually hope this class do work up and still live up to the hype. I don't want everybody to think Caitlin Clark to come in there and be what she was at Iowa her senior year, because y'all got to go back and look. Caitlin Clark, her senior year, wasn't the same player her freshman year. It takes time to develop. Make sure y'all stick behind them. Don't all you Iowa fans, don't jump the bandwagon. Stay with her. Stay with her, support her, keep watching. Same thing for all these, because then the league gonna get bigger. We're gonna get more players. Like you said, they just announced the Valkyrie. And I think they said they're working on Toronto possibly getting a team.
Toronto's getting a team. They are getting a team.
Toronto. And then what was the other one? It was
they haven't said anymore. Those are the only two.
Two, yeah. And hey, at this point too, me and Sean, we've been begging and banging about this, bro. If you gonna keep bringing back all these teams, bring back the Houston Comets, the most extorted franchise. It's like, imagine if the NBA didn't have the Boston Celtics. Like, say like the Boston Celtics got cut off at like what? The 80s or something, and then they just cut the Boston Celtics off. Like, you can't do that. Like,
right.
Before you bring any other team back, bring them back.
Yep.
Hey, man, that is the show, Sean. Episode 75. Do you got somebody for 75?
I do. Got two people. I got two of the best defensive linemen ever. If I were building an all NFL defensive line, these two guys would be on my defensive line. Deacon Jones, one defensive end, and then at defensive tackle, Mean Joe Green. Those are my 275s.
I can't argue that. I was gonna go Mean Joe Green. I was trying to see who else we got besides Mean Joe Green and Deacon Jones. But I was definitely going. We got to go Mean Joe Green. Mean Joe Green for me for sure. Easy. I think 75 was a little more the easier one.
75 is a lot easier. Yeah, so these others. I think when you get up to the high 70s, it does get a little easier.
Yeah.
And then shout out one more just real quick, Jonathan Ogden. One of the best left tackles ever, Baltimore Ravens. First pick of the Baltimore Ravens franchise, by the way. Hall of Fame left tackle. Big dudes who are huge, humongous. Humongous. Yeah. So
but that is the show, guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in, watching. Check us back again on Monday. Be tuned for our clip videos when they drop and be posted. So, and me and Sean gonna start doing. We got to see when our schedule matches up, or if it's like crazy enough happen where we both free, and we gonna stop doing what we doing, and we do video episodes too during out the week too, man. So appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys. And we are out of here.
Rucker Man.